Hey everyone, BitterHyena here, and today I would like to announce 2 new videos coming to the channel. Video number 1 will be uploaded on the weekends, either Saturday or Sunday, so if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell button next to it so you'll get a notification when it goes live. Now this video will be centered around the news of Pokemon, whether it's the TCG stuff, video game, DLC for the games, or any other little tidbits of information that they release or that gets leaked out. Video number 2 won't be an every week video. It'll only be done on the weeks that Japanese sets come out. After we open the boxes, we'll go through in a third video and translate all the new GX cards, trainer cards, and any other card that has any kind of importance, or I think will have importance that has to do with like Pokemon's abilities or special attacks or new conditions or anything like that. This is to help the English TCG players get a little better understanding of the new cards that are going to be coming into the standards. Plus, it also helps me out a bit because I'm currently making a deck to actually go play the card game. So, it's a win-win for both parties. So, now today's video is going to be a combination of both videos. We're going to start talking about Shining Legends. Shining Legends was released in Japan on July 15th, along with the new Pokemon movie I Choose You, which is actually also coming to the US. It is a 72 card set, not including secret rares, and also brings back Shining cards, which haven't been seen since the Neo set released years ago. Now the Japanese set had 6 card packs with a guaranteed holo or better in each pack. The English packs will have 11 cards with a guaranteed 2 holos in each pack, so it'll be a little bit easier for us to get some of the rare cards in the set. And the total set for some reason also has 73 cards, which I'm not exactly sure what that one card will be, but I have a feeling I know what it is, and you'll see later on in the video. Now, unlike the Japanese set, which this part sucks, you won't be able to buy a booster box of it. The only way to get the packs themselves is to get to buy the collection sets of them. There's pin collections, I heard rumor of like a Mewtwo collection or something coming, and then there's this big $80 premium collection that comes with packs in it too. Kinda like how Generations was released last year, where you could only get the packs in certain boxes and not just single booster packs themselves. The premium collection box also is the only way, in the US at least, to get the hyper rare Ho-Oh card. So if you want it, you're going to either have to buy it from someone who's selling it on eBay or pony up $80 for the box. Sorry. Along with the Ho-Oh card, you also get 10 booster packs, a Ho-Oh figure, 2 foil promos of Shining Lugia and Shining Celebi, which this part's weird to me because those cards were originally part of the main set in the Japanese one. So, I don't know, we'll see. A foil promo of everyone's favorite mascot, Pikachu, a special art book that shows the behind the scenes art of the whole Shining Legends set, 3 card boxes to hold cards in with 12 dividers, and of course the TCG code to get everything online. Now this set officially releases in the US on October 6th, and I am so excited for this set. The art on these cards is amazing. It's my favorite set that has been released in a long time, and I cannot wait to get these cards in English. Now finally, let's head on over to the table and take a closer look at some of these cards that are coming into standard here in, a month or so. Get a little idea of, like I said, what's to come, and to see if there's any cards that'll be worth playing. Alright, the first thing you might notice, we have what seems to be a mouse pad flipped over in a giant box right here. And you'll be asking me, hey BitterHyena, why is all that stuff there? Well viewer, I have a perfectly good reason for it. This is for setting the cards up on so you can see them closer to the camera. And in editing, it's hard with the mat that I have that's all red, black, and white to get a color that you can see in all of them perfectly. So this is just going to be a whole lot easier for you to read the English translation because all these cards are still in Japanese. Now first off, we'll start with some of the uncommons and common cards, and then we'll move on to the more higher rarities. first card is Crokinole, everybody's favorite first evolution of Totodile. Anyway, his ability is Purge, and once during your turn, you may move all energies from your active Pokemon to this Pokemon. If you do, switch this Pokemon with your active. So, good way to get him onto the bench pretty quickly. And then his normal attack here is just Bite. 60 damage for a water and 2 colorless. Next up, we have one of my favorite Pokemon cards from this set. It is Venusaur. Now, it's been a couple sets since we've actually seen Venusaur. So this is a nice little return here. Anywho, his ability is Lord of the Jungle. Each basic grass energy card attached to your Pokemon provides 2 grass energies instead. You cannot use more than 1 Lord of the Jungle ability each turn. So if you have a grass deck, especially with the Golisopod deck, this card's going to be awesome. Like I said, all of this is just in my opinion. This card could not be used in any main deck at all. But this is just what I think, like I said. And then his second attack here is normal Solar Beam for 90 damage for 2 grass and 2 double colorless. Next up we have Volcarona with the ability Hot Cyclone. Once during your turn, before you attack, you may have your opponent switch one of their bench Pokemon with their active Pokemon. And his attack there is Heat Blast for 60 damage for 1 fire and 1 colorless energy. And next card, with another throwback to the original 151, we have Arbok with the ability Intimidating Pattern. As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, any damage done by your opponent's Pokemon's attack is reduced by 30. And his normal attack is Poison Fang. 70 damage and your opponent's Pokemon is now poisoned for 1 psychic energy and 2 double colorless. And our last card of the uncommons here is Spiritomb with the ability Cursed Vortex. If this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, the defending Pokemon cannot retreat. And his normal attack there is Cursed Droplets. Put 3 damage counter on your opponent's Pokemon in any way you like, for a darkness and 1 colorless energy. Moving on to our rares, first off we have Manaphy with the ability Deep Sea Blessing. Once during your turn, you may heal 20 damage from one of your Pokemon that has a water energy attached to it. And then its normal attack is Wave Splash for 30 for a water and a single double colorless energy. Next up on the rares, we have Marshadow with the ability Desperation. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to your bench, both players shuffle their hands into their decks and draw 4 cards. And his normal attack is Shadow Punch for 30 damage, and this attack's damage isn't affected by resistance for 1 psychic energy and 1 colorless energy. And lastly, of the rares, we have probably my favorite one in this set, and like I said, rares at least. And we have Hoopa with the ability Bandit Guard. Now, for those of you who don't know this ability and haven't looked at these cards, there's another card in Standard right now that has the same ability. Prevents all effects of attacks, including damage, done to this Pokemon by your opponent's GX and EX Pokemon. This is exactly like the Alolan Ninetales card that we just got out of Burning Shadows. This is basically a dark version of it. So those of you who have a Darkrai deck, I have a feeling this is going to be a must in those decks. And then our normal attack is Super Psy for 80 damage for 1 darkness and 2 double colorless energies. The first trainer we will go over is actually a promo card in the Japanese set, but in the English set I believe this is what's going to be the 73rd card in the set. It is the Masked Royal, and it says attach a basic energy from your hand to one of your Stage 2 Pokemon, a grass, fire, or water Pokemon. Now this card was originally only obtained by buying 10 booster packs of Shining Legends, and there was also a full art given away at, I believe it was some kind of event or something, some invitational only event. And like I said, it was a full art of this card and there was only 100 copies made. So good luck getting one of those if you want it. Next up we have Warp Energy. And it states, when you attach this card from your hand to your active Pokemon, switch that Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. So once again, another easy way to switch Pokemon back and forth. Damage Mover is up next, and for those of you who don't know, it states move 3 damage counters from one of your Pokemon to another one of your Pokemon. And lastly, for the trainer cards, we have Pokemon Breeder. It states draw 2 cards, then heal 20 damage from your active Pokemon. And as you see here, this card actually does have a full art in this set. And it is a very nice looking full art. So, that is it for the trainers. Next, we were moving on to the GX cards. First up for the GX, we have Zoroark GX with the ability Exchange. Once during your turn, before you attack, you may discard 1 card from your hand. If you do, draw 2. His first attack is Riot Beat, 20 times damage. This attack does 20 damage for each Pokemon you have in play. And his GX move for 2 dark energies is Trickster. Choose one of your opponent's Pokemon's attacks and use it as this attack. And just like every set, all of these GXs also have full arts and hyper rares in this set. So we all have that to look forward to. For you Lightning users, our next GX is Raichu GX. His first attack states, it is Powerful Spark, 20 plus damage. This attack does 20 more damage for each lightning energy attached to all of your Pokemon in play. His second move is Thunder for 2 lightning and a colorless, 160 damage. This Pokemon does 30 damage to itself. And finally, its GX attack is Volt Tackle for 2 lightning and a colorless. Does 120 damage. Your opponent's Pokemon is now paralyzed. Next we have the first of the legendary dogs, Entei GX. His first attack is Ember for a fire and a colorless for 50 damage. His second attack is Fire Fang, 2 fire and a colorless for 100 damage. Your opponent's Pokemon is now burned. And his GX move for 2 fire and a colorless also is Brave Blitz. This attack does 150 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. And last but not least, we have the GX with the most versions in this set, Mewtwo. There is a full art, a hyper rare, and this beautiful secret rare, which, in my opinion, is besides the shining cards, those aside, this is the best looking card in this set. And I cannot express how excited I am to have finally pulled it. His first attack for 1 psychic energy is Full Burst, 30 times damage. This attack does 30 damage times the amount of energy attached to this Pokemon. Second attack is Super Absorption for 1 psychic and 1 colorless, 60 damage, and heal 30 damage from this Pokemon. And finally, we have his GX move, Psycho Break, for 3 psychic energies, 200 damage, and this attack isn't affected by the effects of your opponent's active Pokemon. Now the first of the Shining cards is Shining Ho-Oh, which this is also a promo in Japan, and the only way to get it was to buy a booster box of Shining Legends. Here in the US, it's going to come standard with the Elite Trainer box, which is a whole lot easier to get that here than it is the other one. His ability is Flap of the Golden Wings. If this Pokemon is your active Pokemon and is knocked out by the damage of an opponent's attack, move 2 basic energies from this Pokemon to your bench Pokemon in any way that you'd like. And his attack is Fire Blast for 1 fire and 3 colorless. It does 110 damage, and you have to discard 1 energy attached to this Pokemon. Next up, we have Shining Celebi with the ability Time Recall. As this Pokemon is in play, each of your evolved Pokemon can still use any attack from its previous evolutions, as long as you have the energies necessary for it. And his attack is Leaf Step for 1 grass and 1 colorless for 30 damage. Shining Genesect is up next. His ability is Energy Reload, and once during your turn, before you attack, you may move 1 grass energy from one of your bench Pokemon to this Pokemon. His attack is Gaia Blaster. This attack does 20 more damage for each grass energy attached to this Pokemon, and its base attack of 50 plus. Next up, we have Shining Jirachi, and as you can see here, it doesn't have any ability or anything, but its attack is a little odd to me, and I'm curious to see how it's going to be played. It is Star Determination for 10 damage. Remove all evolution cards from your opponent's evolved active Pokemon and return those cards to your opponent's hand. This counts as de-evolving that Pokemon. I'm guessing this would be good for going against like a Gardevoir deck or another kind of deck that's got a lot of stage 2 evolutions in it. But I'm curious to see if this is going to be played. In all honesty, I really don't think any of these shining cards are going to be played. The set mostly seems more for collectors, but I've been surprised before. So we'll see what happens. Next up, we have Shining Mew with the first attack for 1 Psychic Energy. Legendary Guidance. Search your deck for 2 energy cards and attach them to your Pokemon in any way that you'd like. Then shuffle your deck. His second attack is Beam, from what it says, for 1 Psychic and does 10 damage. This is another card I really don't think is going to be viable. Not a lot of HP. His attacks suck. His first attack, well, if you want to call it an attack, is good in my opinion, but he can get destroyed by literally anything. But I do have to say, it is a very, very nice looking card. One of the best, if not the best, shinings in this set. Next is Shining Rayquaza. First attack takes 1 Lightning Energy, and it is Dragon Pulse for 40 damage. Discard the top 2 cards of your deck. Second attack is Sky Judgment for 1 Fire, 2 Lightning, and a colorless. 190 damage, and discard 3 energy from this Pokemon. Now, the last few shining cards I actually haven't obtained yet, but we're still going to go over them here, so you'll see a nice little clip art of them where the card would be. First up is Shining Lugia. First move is 3 colorless energies. Silver Wing, 60 plus damage. If your opponent's active Pokemon has an ability, this attack does 60 more damage. Second attack for 4 colorless is Arrow Force, 130 damage. Discard 1 energy from this Pokemon. Next up, we have Shining Arceus with the ability Magical Protection. If this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, prevent all effects of attacks, including damage, done to your bench Pokemon by the attacks of your opponent's Pokemon. And his first attack, and only attack, is Ultimate Arrow for 4 colorless energies. This attack does 30 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. Don't apply weakness and resistance for bench Pokemon. Now this card here I could actually see being used, but I'm still not sure if it's going to be. So I'm really curious to see if anybody does anything with him. And our final card for Shining Legends and final Shining card is Shining Volcanion. First attack, Dual Water Pump for 3 water energies, does 50 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. Do not apply weakness and resistance for bench Pokemon. His second attack is Quad Smash for 4 colorless. Flip 4 coins. This attack does 50 damage times the number of heads. And finally here, just a final look at some of these shining cards here. These cards are amazing. I really regret not being able to open the packs that had these cards in them because I wasn't collecting cards at that time. And I would love to have the original shining cards, and I will have them someday. But until then, I'm glad I have these. Still got 3 more to get, and I'm really hoping to pull the rest of them in the English set. Alright everyone, that concludes the first new video for this new line of videos on the channel. Let me know in the comments below if you like this video, and let me know what your favorite card from the set's gonna be. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, and if you're new, subscribe. And while you're at it, why don't you go ahead and check out one of the videos of the unboxings I did of the Shining Legends set last month. As always, thank you so much for the support. It is greatly appreciated, and I will talk to you all in the next video. Later.